Welcome. This is Barbara Reese reporting for This Week in East Brunswick. We're very fortunate today to be with two lovely ladies from Komen. Number one, we have Miss Sally Shepherdson, Executive Director of Komen Central and South New Jersey. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Miss Joan Litt, Komen Ambassador and Survivor. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, you know, we have a big event coming up, and it's a wonderful race for the cure. Maybe, Sally, you can give us some history on how this race started.
I can. Actually, the race was founded by a survivor and another survivor who brought the race to Central and South Jersey, where they wanted to raise awareness about breast cancer and raise some funds to fight breast cancer. And this will be the 22nd year of the event. It is the signature event for the Central and South Jersey Komen affiliate.
And where is it located this year?
Located at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson. They are the host. They are very gracious hosts, and this year they have allowed us to expand our race course into the safari portion. So we will be walking through and looking at some animals. Don't feed the runner signs will be posted. And then we're going to have the theme park to walk through to ourselves. It won't be open to the public. And we'll end our race in the Sponsor Expo, where our participants can get to interact with our sponsors and learn about their products and their services.
Now, this is a major fundraising event for Komen.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the importance of the fundraising.
Yes, it is. It's our largest fundraiser of the year. The goal is $1.1 million, and every year we turn that money back into the community as well as fund research. It's 25% of the funds that are raised, and Joan certainly helps raise those funds as well, go to the Komen Research Foundation. We pool every affiliate across the country, 111 of us, join forces and pool 25% of our resources, and that funds Komen Breast Cancer Research. We're the largest breast cancer research entity in the United States, next to the federal government. And then 75% we put back into the communities in Central and South Jersey to serve the men and women and their families facing breast cancer, as well as educating about breast cancer.
Thank you. So as an ambassador, you go out and speak to a lot of people about issues important to the Komen Race for the Cure. Tell us a little bit about your efforts for the organization.
Well, I have done that, and I've volunteered at little shows where, you know, they needed someone at a table, and mostly I just talk to people. And I think the most important thing for me is when we have the race, and I volunteer in the survivor tent, and the survivors all get a strand of beads, pink beads, one strand for every year they've been a survivor. So I walk around with a lot of beads because this year I'll be celebrating 30 years as a survivor. I am a 3-time survivor. I was very young. I was 37, and that was 30 years ago. And since then, I've had metastasis. I'm a 3-time survivor. And when I'm in the tent and when I'm walking around the grounds, I'm stopped all the time. Like, how many beads do you have? Like, you know, and so people start talking to me and asking me questions. And I tell them about my experiences and, you know, how I got through what I got through, because it was really pretty awful. And at a time when I had no one to talk to, and, you know, and I just had support from family and friends. And I sort of give them hope, especially when I tell them how, I mean, the first time I had a lumpectomy, I had a regular breast cancer, which I now found out it was probably one of the worst kinds of breast cancer. They have a name for it now, which they didn't then, which is triple negative, which is really, really bad. And I had chemo and radiation concurrently. And that was okay for 3 years of very young children, and then it metastasized to my bones. And then I had chemo every other week for 5 years. And that went into I don't even want to say remission. I was completely cured within several months. But I give people hope when they ask me about metastasis, and they want to know, you know, they think it's a death sentence. And I said, it doesn't have to be a death sentence. I mean, first of all, you have to have a really good attitude. And you have to say to yourself, I'm going to get cured. I'm going to beat this thing. And, you know, just listen to your doctors and do everything you can. You can't go home and cry and be depressed, because I don't think that's going to help matters. And, you know, I beat it. And I had another incident several years ago, but 10 years ago, 11 years ago. And I beat that too. And I think that's important for people to hear. You know, even when I sit at tables at events and you give out, you know, Komen pamphlets and informational materials, people talk to me. And the fact that they can relate to me, or I can tell them my experiences, that there is hope out there, I think is really so important. Mm-hmm. My favorite thing about the race is the Survivor program. And the first part of the Survivor program is a Survivor march across the parking lot at Great Adventure to the stage. And the survivors march, and there are banners. And so it's like, up until last year, it was 25 plus, and it goes down all the way to like 1 year survivor. And many years, well, I've always been in the first group, but many years I've held the banner, and I've led the parade, the march. And the most wonderful thing about that is there are thousands of people there, and they're all lined up next to you. It's like fenced off, and you're walking, and there's music, and they're yelling, and they're applauding, and there's, you know, it's just wonderful. I mean, I cry every time I do it, and I cry when I think about it, how, you know, everyone's there to support. And just to be there with my sisters and my sisters and my friends and brothers, because there's a lot of men out there who've had breast cancer too. Not that much has been said about it, but there really is. And that to me is just one of the most wonderful, wonderful parts of the day.
Well, you're an inspiration to all of us, and we appreciate you sharing your story. We could talk for some time, but we do have to close and give some of the information, a little bit of the details.
Absolutely.
And so that people can see you at the race. So again, tell us the details. Where, when, and how can they register?
Sure. We're holding the event for the 8th year at Six Flags Great Adventure in Jackson. And you can register now online. And then you can start your team, or you can register as an individual and start your fundraising. You can also register day of at the registration tent, and that's Sunday, October 4th. And registration starts at 7. And the activities, the Survivor breakfast, and the other activities for the participants start at 7:15 as well. And we'll head off with the race at 9. Everybody, those runners will take off. The rest of us will walk.
I'm a walker.
There's a 1-mile loop, and there's a 5K loop that again goes through the safari and the theme park. And then we'll end with some food trucks and some music and our sponsor expo. New this year is the what we're calling a team tailgate area, where teams can secure some real estate adjacent to the race site, and teams can pop up tents or bring in breakfast, or a great gathering place for team photos, and they can use that space however they want to, and they can reserve that through us as well.
Excellent. And the registration for adults is $30?
That's right.
And for kids 10 and under is $15?
Right, and it goes up on race day, so it's really a good idea to pre-register.
Excellent. Well, you know, and of course the donations can be done through the website as well.
Oh, yes.
And are encouraged.
Oh, yes, they are.
Well, thank you so much for speaking with us here today, and we hope that we've reached out to some folks who may not know about the race, and it's a well-received race here in the county and in the state, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
Thank you.
Thank you.
My pleasure being here.
Thank you for joining us today for This Week in East Brunswick. We hope to see you at the race.